integrated approach for the control of the ectoparasites in sheep and goat. Control of the parasites will definitely play a major role in doubling the farmer's income. If we talk about the ectoparasites of sheep in India, so these are the different species, the ticks like Hyaloma species, Hemophysalis species, Rhipicephalus, these are all hard ticks. And if you consider soft ticks, that is Otobus magnini. So these are the ticks, these are found mostly in case of sheep. If you talk about lice, Linocanthus africanus, Bovicula capre, fleas, mostly it is Stenocephalides felis orientalis. This is mostly, there is a cat flea, this is mostly found in case of sheep. It is also found in case of goat. And so far as mites are concerned, these are again three types of mite: boring mite, non-boring mite, and follicular mites, like Sarcoptes, Sauroptes, and Dermatix bovis. If you talk about flies, the flies are again broadly classified into two groups, that is meiosis causing flies and non-meiosis causing flies. So these are the different ectoparasites of goat. Almost these are similar. Whatever ticks found in case of sheep, these are also found in case of goat, like Hyaloma species, Hemophysalis, Rhipicephalus, and Otobus magnini. Linocanthus africanus and Bovicula capre are the lice species. These are found in case of goat. As I've already discussed, fleas like Stenocephalides felis orientalis. This is mostly found both in sheep and goats. And so far as mites are concerned, Sarcoptes cavi, Sauroptes capre, and Demodex capre. These are the mites which are mostly found in case of goats. Flies are almost similar. Those flies which are found in case of sheep, these are also affecting the goat. So there is not that much cost specificity. So we'll talk one by one. Among the different ectoparasites, ticks are very, very important. So we'll first discuss about the ticks. What are the different, as I've already discussed, what are the different tick species and what they cause. What is the economic importance of ectoparasite disease of livestock? They cause direct losses from their bite and annoyance. They cause mechanical and they act as mechanical and biological vectors of so many bacterial, viral, and protozoal and rickettsial diseases. They bring health hazards, and there is enormous loss in terms of expenditure, in terms of treatment, and in terms of prevention. So if you talk about the adverse effect, there is decrease in milk production. There is a loss of meat production due to meiosis causing flies. There will be a requirement of trimming of the carcass, and that leads to downgrading of the carcass. There is huge loss to the leather industry due to depreciation of the hide that is caused by mange and meiosis. There is a loss of wool production, loss of quality of the wool production, and loss of reproductive efficiency. These all together have a very adverse effect towards the small ruminant production due to these ectoparasites. So now, if you talk about the control of these ectoparasites, the farmers, the livestock owners, are directly depending upon the chemical acaricides. Indiscriminate use of the chemical acaricides, rampant use of the and the underdosing of this acaricide lead to the development of drug resistance. So this picture showing the distribution of the resistant ticks across India, and these ticks are showing resistance to almost different class of drugs. So there comes the concept of integrated approach for the control of the pest management. Now, this tick and tick-borne disease or the vector-borne disease is on the rising trend. Now, World Health Organization on the occasion of the World Health Day, they declared the theme protect yourself from the vector-borne disease. Now everybody is talking about the One Health approach. We have to take into consideration the health of animal, the health of individual, and the health of the environment. Then only the concept of integrated pest management can be fulfilled. So what are the factors that enforces the implementation of the integrated pest management? Now there is emergence of the pesticide resistance or the resurgence of the pests. There is environmental contamination due to the rapid use of these chemical acaricides. There is pesticide residues in the food. There is bioaccumulation and biomechanification of the chemical pesticides. And the rate of development of the new drug, that is very stagnant, because for the development of a new drug, it actually takes more than 25 years. Now the company, they are not also interested to invest a lot in this in developing the new drugs. But by the time they are developing the new drug, the vector are developing a resistance at a more faster rate. So they are not getting anything in return. So that's why they are not interested for development of a new drug. So whatever drugs is available with us, we have to deal with that. We are not having any other option. So we have to integrate various approaches for the control of these ectoparasites. That may be biological, that may be cultural, that may be managemental aspect. We have to take into consideration. There comes the concept integrated pest management. Now there is much public awareness or the health consciousness, and there is increasing trends of the consumer towards the organic food. There comes the concept IPM. Keep into consideration the cultural, the physical, the mechanical, the biological, and lastly, the chemical method of control. So what is integrated pest management? Integrated pest management is nothing but it is integrating the available pest control methods to achieve effective, economical, and sustainable combination of the chemical, biological, and cultural control. Now, the concept of the IPM lies on the two benchmarks, that is economic injury level and the economic threshold level. These are the two important aspects. What is economic threshold level? Economic threshold level is a threshold level, that means the population of the pest at which action should be taken, managemental action should be taken, so that the population of the insect should not reach to the economic injury level. So what is economic injury level? Economic injury level is the pest population at which the loss due to control is equivalent to the production losses. So economic threshold level, the action should be taken for the control of the ectoparasite so that they should not reach to the economic injury level. So what are the basic objectives of this integrated pest management? The first objective is to achieve effective, economical, and the sustainable livestock pest control to prevent the damage to the people health, to manage resistance and the resurgence of the livestock pest, and to conserve the biodiversity. We have to maintain the biodiversity of the beneficial insects of the place. And there are certain basics of the integrated pest management. Integrated pest management tells that treat only when required instead of treating routinely. Eradication of the pests or the ectoparasite is not at all desirable. Expenditure on the control, and should always remember that expenditure on any control of the ectoparasite shall always be lower than the production losses. Then the control should be tried, otherwise should not be tried. And the integrated pest management always attempt to optimize the production rather than to maximize it. That's the basic concept of integrated pest management. So we'll cover one by one, basic on this principle of integrated pest management. So far as ectoparasites are concerned, the major important is ticks. So as you know, the ticks are economical, the most important place of the cattle as well as the small ruminants. They are the vector of so many pathogenic organisms. They not only suck blood, they also are helpful for transmission of so many protozoan diseases like babesiosis, filariasis, anaplasmosis. Actually, we have also conducted one survey here in Haryana, whole Haryana, northern India, and you could find that the ticks are responsible for transmission of 5 species of filaria in small ruminants like Filaria lestrocodi, Filaria lewinsonis, Filaria ovis, Filaria annulata, and so many other species. Apart from that, they cause anemia, since they are the voracious bloodsuckers. They also cause tick toxicity and tick paralysis. So these are the direct effects. Apart from that, the losses due to treatment is much more, because if you talk about filariasis only, one dose of the Butalex is the drug of choice, Goatfarming is the drug of choice for treating the filariasis. And if you treat the one dose treatment is more than 1,000. Apart from that, we have to also give supportive therapy. So in terms of treatment, in terms of prevention, in terms of management, the losses is huge. So we have to take care of these things while undertaking the ectoparasitic control. So far as ticks are concerned, these are two types of ticks. One is soft tick and another hard tick. So the hard ticks, again, their life cycle is different. There are one host tick, there are two host tick, and there are three host tick. In case of sheep and goat, it is mostly three host tick. One host tick means the life cycle is completed in all the stages of the life cycle, that is completed in one host. While in case of two host tick, 2 individual hosts are required for the completion of the life cycle. While in case of three host tick, 3 hosts are required for completion of the life cycle. So before attempting for the control of the ticks, we should understand the life cycle. Then we can go for intervention. So we should understand what is their biotic potential. So here I have given one example that this is the life cycle of a 3 host tick. if you take into example a female tick, they lays eggs, and that egg hatches into larvae. Larvae attach, engorge, again drop down, molting from larva to nymph occurs on the ground. Again, that nymph engorge, attach, engorge, and drop down. The nymph again molt into adults. Adults again attach to the another host, and it engorge and again drop down, and again it gives rise to eggs, and the life cycle continues. From this, you can see one female tick can give rise to 4,000 eggs. Now, during molting, so this 4,000 eggs, they can give rise to 4,000 larvae. But if you consider due to adverse environmental condition, suppose we can consider 50% of the larvae, 50% of the larvae, if they survive, they can give rise to 2,000 nymphs. But again, we consider 50% survivor, so there may be 1,000 nymphs. From the 1,000 nymphs, again they give rise to 1,000 adults. And 1,000 adults, there may be, if there is 50% survival, maybe there are 500 adults. So again, 500 adults, there are 250 female and 250 male. So one female can give rise to 4,000 eggs. From this, you can understand in F1 generation, one female tea can give rise to 10 lakh larvae. 10 lakh larvae. So from this, you can imagine how we can control this tick population, so that we can, before, if you cannot understand the basic life cycle of the ticks, we can go for controlling these ectoparasites. So you should understand their biotic potency. So from this, there are two methods how to control these ticks. We should go for on the host treatment and off the host treatment. Why on the host treatment is required? Because whatever tick population is there on the host, you can go with treatment. But whatever ticks are there, they are hiding in the cracks on the crevices, you also go for off the host treatment. Then only you can control the whole tick population. Otherwise, it will remain a problem throughout. So if you consider the integrated approach for the tick controls, one basic method is management control. That is very, very important. You should keep the animals in the tick-proof buildings that should be free from cracks and crevices. If it is there, it should be covered with the it should be covered. It should be a concrete floor. Then there should be regular burning of the waste near the walls of animal sheds. There should be pasture spelling, rotational grazing, and the plowing of the land. So that what will happen, whatever the different developmental stages are there inside the ground, they will be open up to the sunlight and they will die. There should be clearance of the vegetation every week. And whenever you are bringing any new animals to the herd, then they should not be allowed to directly mix with the older ones. They should be kept under quarantine. They should be clearly visualized, inspected, and they should be treated with the acaricides, and then they should be allowed to mix with the older ones. Then there should be, if there is less number of population on the host, then manual removal can be very good. The second method, because the first method should be managemental method, the second method is biological control. There are various biological agents that are used for the control of the ticks, like entomopathogenic fungus, I will discuss later. Then various insects, bacteria, like it is coming in the form of Bifidobacterium, Bacillus thuringiensis, Bacillus thuringiensis, Icelandensis. These are already available in the agriculture shop. You can go, you can purchase, and it is readily available. Then even certain birds, they are used as biological agents for the control of the ticks. Certain leguminous plants, they're also used for the control of the larval population of the ticks, because they can kill or immobilize the larval stages of the ticks, like Melinus, Pinus, Ocimum, Solanum. These are all leguminous plants. Then certain entomopathogenic nematodes and the parasitoids, they're also used. I'm giving one very good example of the biological control of the ticks. So these are already available in the market. So you can use this biological insecticide containing the bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis Pustaki. It has to be used in the premises or in the ground, and you have to take only 1 ml. You have to mix in 1 liter, and you have to apply. That is 30 ml per square meter, and it shouldn't be applied on the animal body. The second biological control is use of fungus. So before coming to so what is the mechanism of the control of what the bacteria do? So they produce one. They are being ingested by the different developmental stages of the ticks. They enter inside the gut and they produce an endotoxin. That endotoxin is destroys the gut of the tick. In that way, it is helping the control of the tick population. Another biological control is, you are using various fungus like Metarrhiza anisophyllae and Deworming americana. So these fungus are already available in the agriculture also. You can go and ask for the fungal spores. These are coming either in liquid form or in the powder form. So the dose is very simple. You can take 5 gram of powder or 5 ml of liquid solution. You add in 1 liter of water and you have to sprinkle in the premises. And it has to sprinkle during the cooler part of the day, because for the development of the fungus, it requires slight moisture and humidity. The humidity should be at least 60%. So it is better to apply during the evening part so that the moisture will be maintained and the humidity will be maintained inside the premises. So how they will work? So whenever you are applying this, these fungal spores, their concentration is actually 10 to the 8 number of spores per gram of the or the ml. There is present 10 to the 8 number of spores. When we are spraying these spores, they will vegetate, they will produce the hyphae, they will produce the conidia that will attach to the cuticle of the ticks, and they will destroy the cuticle of the tick, and the tick will die. Even they are also attacking the the eggs. The eggs, whatever eggs they will produce, will be crackled. There will spindle shape. Their shape will be distorted. In that way, they are helpful for controlling the tick population. Another method is, picating machines. The biological control is the backward poultry. These are known as the backward warriors against the tick plague. And they are the aggressive foragers. And it has been seen that if you leave these poultry birds, 1 or 2 poultry birds in animal shed having at least 10 or 12 animals, so they can go on eating all the ticks, grub and flea inside. So these are a very good method of controlling the tick population, so far as biological control is concerned. And there are several ethnoveterinary practices that has been practiced by the livestock owners. Several plants and herbs that have shown to possess the anti-tick in insecticidal, growth inhibiting, anti-molting, and repellent activities. I was giving a very good example, that is sitapal and neem. These are used and these have been shown very good efficacy against the thick host as well as the one-host tick. Even in the Rajasthan areas, people are trying, this has been tried in large animals. They used to feed the ground or the powder form of the paramira to animal in summer. So that drastically reduces the tick burden. How they do? Because when they were feeding this the ground or the powder form of this extract, will produce a typical odor in the animal. So because of that smell or because of that odor, the ticks do not prefer to bite the animals. In that way, the tick population can be controlled. Even people are trying for neem seed kernel preparations. Even people are trying external application of the rated or the powdered common salt for the tick control. These are the various ethnoveterinary practices. I will also discuss one of the eco-friendly constitution of preparations among the dairy animals. That is also available in the ICR website. It is a combination of the neem and the monk gifford. You can take 2.5 kilo of freshly collected leaves of the neem tree, and that has to be kept in a 4 liter lukewarm water. And you can simultaneously take 1 kilo of leaves of nagod. It is other known as mala plant. Okay, and that has to be kept in 2 liters of lukewarm water. The preparation has to be kept overnight or approximately 12 hours. And then about 300 ml of the food extract from the neem. So whatever 2.5 kilo of neem you have taken, from that you have to make 300 ml of food extract of neem, and 100 ml from the pepper or the nagod. And you have to mix in the ratio of 3:1. So 300 plus 100, that is around 400 ml of the fruit preparation. Now this 400 ml of fruit preparation, this has to be mixed in 3.6 liter of water. So it is approximately 4 liter. And that 4 liter is enough for treatment of at least 10 to 20 animals. And it is after treatment, it is having the anti-repellent effect up to 45 days. So anybody can prepare and you can use it. Okay, it has to be applied on the animal body only or in the premises. And that has to be continued at least for 3 days, continuous 3 days. Then it can give the anti-repellent effect up to 45 days. Then this is another ethnoveterinary formulation. You can take easily available this the neem oil. It is available in the shop also. Whereas you can take 15 ml of neem oil and you can add 2 grams of liquid soap, because liquid soap will act as a saponin like. Otherwise, neem oil will not be mixed with normal tap water. You take 1 liter of tap water, add 15 ml neem oil along with 2 grams of liquid soap. So it will be helping proper mixing of the solution. Now soak the mixture for 6 hours and spray over the animal body at the rate 0.5 liter per animal, 500 ml per each animal. It has to be applied even in the premises, so that will helpful for the control of the tick population. That is another ethnoveterinary formulation that is rampantly used by the livestock owner. You can take 5 kilo of the neem seed, grind and soak it overnight in water, filter it to the soft cotton, then add 200 grams of soap and make volume up to 100 liter. Now this can be sprayed over the animal body, 500 ml for each animal. Even you can spray in the infected premises, that is 30 ml per square meter at monthly interval. It will also give good result, very good result. So there are the different types of ethnoveterinary practices that are being practiced for the control of the tick population. Now the another aspect is semiochemicals. These are the things, these are the chemicals which are being secreted by the ticks for communicating with the interspecies or interspecies. So these are again divided into pheromones or the allochemicals. Pheromones are mostly for interspecific action and allochemicals for interspecific action. So this is the major area of research people are doing for the control of the tick population. These are being used as bait for control of the ticks. So these semiochemicals are again pheromones, anomones, chiromones, and cynomones. Again, these pheromones are 3 types: arrest pheromones, attraction, aggregation, attachment pheromones, sex pheromones. Sex pheromones are again 3 types. So these hormones, these pheromones are being secreted by the male or the female part for attracting the counterpart. So this can be used as a bait for the control of the tick population. So this is the major research, and South people, they're trying a lot and they have also got very good success. So in near future, we hope products based on this semiochemical will come to the market. Now, another aspect is the last aspect, that is the chemical method of control. I have discussed about the managemental method of control, then biological method, then ethnoveterinary practices, and the last one is the chemical control. Why I am taking the chemical control as the last method, though the farmer is using this as the first option, because chemical method, the chemical control means you have to use the chemical acaricides. Whatever drugs you have to use it. And farmer always want result at the low step. That's why they're using the chemical acaricides. But they rampant use, indiscriminate use, underdosing, that all leads to development of the resistance. So that's why whenever you are using these chemicals, you have to use it judicious. There should be periodic application of the acaricides. Whenever you are using any acaricide, you should not use it more than 2 years. You should change it to other classes of the acaricide. Second, as I've already discussed, the biotic potential of the tick. One female tick can give rise to 10 lakh larvae. So that's why whenever you are going for treatment of the ticks, then you should go for treatment that is on the host treatment and off the host treatment. That means you have to treat the animal and you have to treat the premises. Whenever you are treating the animal and whenever you are treating the premises dose should be double than whatever dose you are using for treating the host. That is very, very important. And the frequency of treatment, that should be based on the test that is involved. Then there are different methods of using this chemical method of control. That is dipping, spraying, spot on, application, injection. Okay, I will discuss that too. And there are different types of acaricides that are being used for the chemical control, like organochlorine, organophosphates, carbamates, and the last one is the pyrethroids. These are the most commonly used acaricides, and their efficacy started from 90 to 100. So these are the different ectoparasite, agnetic, lice, and fleas and mites, and formulation. So these are a very good example how can use the different ectoparasite and endoparasites for external parasites. You can use the ectoparasites like synthetic pyrethroids. There are different drugs coming: cypermethrin, deltamethrin, flumethrin, and permethrin. Whenever you are going for cypermethrin, it is effective against lice, fleas, and mite and ticks. It is not effective against the nasal birds. If you talk about the deltamethrin, it is also effective against the lice, like biting lice, sucking lice, flies, and the tick population. But flumethrin and permethrin, these are not advised. This is available in the boron application. So far as omeprazole is concerned, you can go for spraying or dipping. and it is effective in lice as well as the mites and ticks. So far as ectoparasites are concerned, ivermectin and salicylate, like closantel and rafusanides. Whenever you're going for ivermectin, you can go for oral preparation or subcut application, that is parental application. That is effective against the lice and the lice, that is the sucking lice and sucking flies, nasal bird, mites and ticks. And whereas the salicylides, these are effective against the nasal bird, mites and tick population. So the major concern is whenever you are going for this ectoparasites, shearing is a must. Shearing should be advised before treating the lice, ticks and mites. Because there should be proper penetration should be there, otherwise it not effective. And so far as different methods are concerned of application, mode of application, dipping is the best method. And whenever you're going for spraying on the side or other environment, it advised to double the dose of the dipping. Okay, that has to be maintained. And whenever you're going for formulation of any such acaricide, you should always use tap water, the drinking water. And whenever you're using the diluted solution, you should use within 1 hour. Don't keep for the next day. So these are the common mistakes why we are using while we are going for application of this insect. So these are the different methods as I've already discussed: dusting, dipping, spraying, and the systemic application. Among them, I can say dusting is preferable when there is a very limited number of animals and there is very mild infestation is there. Then you can go for dusting. But dusting is not preferable because there is not uniform application. Why we are following dipping method? Dipping is the best method because here every part of the body got in touch with the acaricides. Uniform application. But the one disadvantage of this dipping is that you should always take into care because there is always formation of a gradient. It means there is a gradual decrease in the concentration of the acaricide. So whenever you are going for dipping, so every time, every batch, you should check the concentration of the acaricide. And spraying is also preferable. And whenever you are going for spraying, people are usually following the knapsack method of spraying. Knapsack method means you should first apply. There is a proper method how to apply this insecticide. First to apply throughout the back line, starting from the head to the tail region. Okay. Then apply towards the belly and the flank region. Then apply towards the tail region and the groin. Okay. Then apply towards the legs region, different legs. And after that, the last part is head, ear, and ear part. So this is the knapsack method of using the insecticide. And there are various systemic applications like pour-on, spot-on preparation, injectable form is also available. Now, younger people thought it is very easy to control the ectoparasites, but that is not the case. Eradication, as I've already discussed, based on this integrated pest management, IBM never prefer eradication. Neither it is possible nor it is feasible. The complete eradication of any parasite. Now the concept is how you can control? Truly cheaply based on the management. That's why managemental effort should be given the maximum for the control of this ectoparasites. So what are the points that should be remembered while applying these acaricides? Avoid dipping on the cloud, rainy, windy or the cold days. Provide sufficient water drinking before application of any acaricide. Never apply acaricide in the wound or in the infected region. Avoid contamination of the dipping tank with organic matter. The concentration of the dip should be thoroughly tested, thoroughly checked, and maybe same as recommended by the particular company. Weak animals less than 3 months old, they should not be subjected to dipping. Even avoid dipping of the sheep in advanced stage of pregnancy. Okay. So these are the things that have been taken into consideration while applying these acaricides. So what are the common mistakes we do while applying these acaricides? The first one, whenever you are using any parathrax or the amitras, they are coming in umbilical method. Okay, that means they are prone to sunshine. They will degrade if they are exposed to the sunshine. So always try to use the reconstituted working solution within the same day and never prepare the working solution in sunshine. Keeping the reconstituted solution for the next step should be avoided. Whenever you are preparing any solution, that should be used in the same day. Always use warm water for solution preparation. Second one is never use hard water. And whenever you are going for a manual method of control of the ticks, never throw the ticks on the ground. So these are the things that are taken into consideration, and these are the mistakes that should not be continued. So if you talk about, in summary, for the control of the ticks, what are the things we have to take into consideration? First one is managemental method, that is clean the shed once in a for 3 weeks and pasture burning. That is a very good method. Application of the herbal acid at least once in a week for 3 weeks. Application of the fungal spores, and judicious, lastly, the judicious use of the chemical herbicides. We follow the first 3 methods like cleaning, application of herbal acaricide, and the application of the fungal spore. Then the last one, the chemical acaricide will not be used because these 3 methods they will take care of the control of the. Now the second method, how you can go for controlling the another important ectoparasite, that is lice. The lice, you can very well different. There are 2 types of lice. One is biting lice, another one is sucking lice. So the first biting lice and sucking lice. You can morphologically you can clearly differentiate the biting lice and the sucking lice. So the biting lice mostly feed on the tissues and the organic waste. While at the sucking lice, they suck the blood. Their life cycle it is completed within 35 days. So they produce eggs, and the eggs will attach to the wool, and they will hatch. They will give rise to nymph, and it is a truth. They will give rise to the nymph, give rise to the adult. Total life cycle completed in as per the environmental condition. It can take 35 days to. Normally takes 35 days to reach to the maturity, but even if it take more days under adverse conditions. So you can see this lice population, how they're attaching to the hair fibers. So what are the facts about the lice? That is, these lice are very small wingless insects. Unlike ticks, they are having a high degree of host specificity. Even there are certain lice which are found in sheep, they are not found in goats. So there are very much even organ specific. Lice can survive away from the host only for a very, very limited period, and the whole life cycle can spend on the host skin. And they are generally transmitted by the direct contact. And normally they do not transmit any diseases. Their saliva and the feces, they contain certain substances that call allergy condition. These lice are also responsible for lameness. They found in the foot louse. They cause lameness in case of. So these are the facts about the lice, and the condition that is known as pediculosis or lousiness, we can call, mostly found in the colder season. You can see white dandruff-like structure. It is mostly seen in the head, neck, dorsum, and the groin region. And there will be formation of crusting erythema, pruritus, and there will be severe itching and alopecia. And in severe condition, even the kid, there is anemia, and they can die also. So these all depends upon the condition, like the poor diet, even adverse weather condition, extreme cold weather. So these are the factors that contribute to the occurrence of this pediculosis, mostly in case of kids. Okay. So what are the points that has to remember to control of the lice population? Since they are the permanent parasite, topical application is more effective, and the systemic insecticide is less efficacious, particularly for the biting jobs, but it is highly effective for the. Whenever we are going for any chemotherapy, it should be followed after shearing, because shearing reduces 80% of the population of this lice. You always maintain the farm appliances clean, use different disinfectant, because these are act as a mechanical, because through farm appliances also the lice population can be spread, and they can survive outside the house for 2 to 3 weeks. However, they are very much prone to the desiccation, and always try to maintain ventilation inside the animal shed, because even overstocking or overcrowding that should be avoided. Whenever you are bringing any new animals to the shed, that should be properly examined and treated if found positive. Okay, and spraying and dripping the insecticide is also very, very effective. Whenever you are even it has been observed that if you keep the animal in lukewarm water for at least 30 to 45 minutes, then the lice population can be controlled. But the one thing I've taken into consideration, but that may lead to also hypothermia condition in case of kids. So it is not at all practicable, but these are the methods that have been used for the control of the lice population. And whenever you are going for controlling the lice population, treatment should be done twice. Remember this one. This is very, very important. The first time to kill the lice currently on the body, and the second after 14 days to kill the lice hatching from the eggs present at the time of treatment. So, within interval of 2 weeks, there should be second treatment. Then the lice population can be controlled. Till date, there is not any accuracy that is effective against the eggs. So it is only whatever accuracy is there, it is only effective against the adult ones. So this has to be kept into consideration while going for controlling the lice population. Now we have already covered tick population, tick, control of lice. The third one, another important pest, that is fleas. So what are the fleas? The fleas, you can see, these are the fleas. These are the their bodies laterally compressed. These are the wingless insects, and here are the fleas. The fleas are the adult fleas are only parasitic. The life cycle completed in 2 to 3 weeks. Even under certain circumstances, under adverse weather condition, it can take up to months. Their legs are well developed. You can see they can jump up to 7 to 13 inches. And here there is a certain comb-like structure. These are called ginal comb, pronatal comb, by which you can differentiate between the different cat flies, cat flea, dog flea. Okay, the flea which is found mostly in the seaboard, that is the Tenocephalitis var orientalis. It is mostly found in case of sheep and goat. They are highly active and they are very much flexible compared to lice. They are flexible in the host specificity. One female flea can lay up to 40 eggs, and in their whole lifetime, they can give rise to 1,085 number of eggs. And so this is the basic difference between the flea and the lice. Lice is very much specific, whereas flea, these are not that much specific. And by seeing the morphological also, you can clearly differentiate. They are very much flexible. They are highly active compared to the lice population. You can see the picture showing the lice, the flea infestation in goat. This is their life cycle, as I have already discussed. Okay, so adult flea give rise to eggs, and the eggs give rise to larvae, and the larvae convert into pupae, they convert into cocoon, and from that it takes several months, several weeks to several months, depending on the adverse condition, to convert into adult flea. So they are the different method how can you go for control of the flea. That is one important aspect is frequent cleaning and vacuuming of the animal premises, spraying with the synthetic pyrethroids, then spot-on formulation with fipronil, that is mostly used, and application of the insect growth regulators. So these are the Birba company is producing this fipronil spray. You can apply that. Otherwise, another product is also available, that is Piprofort Plus, that is fipronil plus methoprim. It is coming like that, and you can go. One is insect growth regulator, another one is fipronil. So they are very much effective for a control of the flea population. Another pest ectoparasite, that is fly. How can go for controlling the flies? Is as I've already discussed, there are two types of flies. That is mysis causing flies and non-mysis causing flies. So for control of flies is not that much important. So far as ectoparasites of sheep and goat are concerned, so you have to take into only consideration, that is proper managemental aspect. You have to take into consideration. There should be proper manure and urine disposal on the regular basis. Disposal should be done at a reasonable distance from the animal shed, and stagnation, the drainage should be avoided. And you can even in the shed you can use smoking in the shed with the raw leaves during evening. That will help to reduce the nuisance. Even you can go for use of the fly repellents, natural repellents like neem oil, orange oil. That also helpful for the control of the biting flies and the ticks. Naphthalene tablets, camphor, in neem and mustard, that also can be used. And whenever you are using this different types of oil, like naphthalene tablets or camphor in neem or the mustard oils, that should be always used against the direction of the hair. And even you can go for use of the fly-proof nets. That is also helpful for the control of the fly population. Another fly, that is Astrosovis, that is also very much that is nuisance. As you know, this causes nasal meiosis. There actually this adult parasite, adult insect, they used to lay larvae in the nose, and that enter in, they produce larva. But larva directly enter into the frontal sinus, ethmoid sinus, where they can cause severe irritation, itching, and the animal used to move around aimlessly. So that is a very much they cause a havoc in sheep population, and they cause nasal meiosis. And for the treatment of the nasal myiasis, the drug that is preferred is ivermectin. That is a 0.2 milligram per kg weight that has to be given subcutaneously, or you can go for another insecticide that is Clozentel that has been given 10 milligram per kg weight orally. So these are the two drugs that is helpful for the control of this nasal myiasis. The last one is, how can you go for controlling the mite population. So mite, again, these are again three types: boring mites, non-boring mites, and follicular mites. If we talk about boring mites, these are Sarcoptes. Non-boring mites, these are Soroptes and Coroptes, and the follicular mite, this is Demotic mites. This is the picture. It is showing the Coroptic mite, and this is Soroptic mite, Sarcotic, and the Demotics. Demotics is cigar set by seeing morphologically, you can clearly differentiate. In case of Sarcoptes, as you know, all the legs are exposed outside. Whereas in case of Soroptes and Coroptes, all the four pair of legs, these are projected outside. In this way, you can differentiate morphologically. And, we'll go one by one. These are the normal predilection site, the men's mats. In case of goat, typically we have shown what are the different predilection sites for Demodex, for Sarcoptes, for Soroptes, and Coroptes. If we talk about the life cycle of the mite, it normally takes 2 weeks for completion of the life cycle. Produce eggs come into larvae into protoneme. There are different nymphal stages. After that, it is converted into adult. Normally, 10 to 14 days for the completion of the life cycle. Understand the life cycle is very, very important whenever you're going for any preventive or the control strategy. As I've already discussed, the boring mite and the non-boring mite. Sarcoptes is a boring mite and Soroptes is a non-boring mite. So that is very, very important. You should morphology should differentiate. Then you can go for treatment. So far as Sarcoptes mites are concerned, these are boring mites and they mostly affect the head and the feet region. They mostly affect the non-hairy part. They cause the wrinkling and tingling of the skin. There will be intense itching. Topical application is less effective in case of Sarcoptes. And the most common species that are affecting the population, that is Sarcoptes parvovis. Whereas Soroptes, these are non-boring mites that they can affect the entire body, and they prefer to attack the hairy part of the body. They form scar formation. Compared to Sarcoptes, they usually form wrinkling and tingling of skin. Whereas Soroptes, they form scar. Yellow crust will be forming outside the body. There will be less itching and pruritus. Here, topical application is very, very effective in case of Soroptes. So this is the sarcoptic mens. In case of goat, the generalized lessons, there is tinkling and the wrinkling of the skin, and there is loss of hairs. Okay, even they're affecting the leg portion. You see, you can see this is clearly visible, and this is a typical case of sarcoptic mens in case of goat. If you talk about sheep, this is the soroptic mens, mostly affect the head region, the ear region. There will be thick crust on the bridge of the nose. There will be alopecia, erythema, and thick yellow crust over the thorax. The typical case of soroptic mens in case of sheep. If we talk about the demotic mens or the follicular mens, it mostly affect the goat population. So you can clearly see these papules or the nodules on the face region, and there will be white spots in the center, represent the pus. If you just press these nodules, then pus will come out. And if you examine this pus under the microscope, you can clearly see the cigar-shaped demotic species. Now, there is another problem in so far as mites are concerned, is the facial mange. Mostly, this is known as a facial mange. This is mostly found in case of sheep. And it is the most annoying and the chronic problem for both the shepherds and the sheep in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. It is mostly found. It is also known as the head scab or the black muzzle. It is also known as the head scab or the black muzzle. In local language, it is also known as the moragazi in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And the causative agent is Sarcoptes scabi var ovis. The mite are transmitted when the healthy sheep come in close physical contact with the affected sheep. It mostly affects the non-woolly skin, and it frequently starts from the head region. You can say it is mostly restricted to the muscles or to the head region. The skin lesions are mostly confined to the muscle. There will be appearance of the crust, there will be scaly appearance, there is superficial erosion, there will be thick, hard, firmly attached brown scabs overlay the lesions. and affected area is intensely excoriated and there will be severe hair loss. So this is the picture we can see under microscope. Okay, these are the typical lesion, brown pus. That is one of the typical example of the facial maze in case of sheep. So, if you talk about mite control, there is no repellent, no natural or synthetic that will keep mites away from sheep. There is no biological control means for controlling the sheep mites. There is no trap for catching the sheep mites. So the only method of controlling the mites is biosecurity and effective clinical management. So you have to take into consideration the prevention, separating the affected from the healthy flock so that the disease cannot be transferred to the healthy ones. So what you have to do immediately whenever getting any such type of infection into knowledge, immediately you have to separate the affected sheep population from the healthy flock and then properly ventilate the site with adequate spacing and always be balanced and free. And so far as treatment is concerned, already you can go for ivermectin injection, that is 0.2 milligram per kg body weight and at 2 weeks interval. Otherwise, you can go for cold antiseptic, creosote oil based applications on the affected region as external application, or you can go for this Opcow liquid. It is a Mumbai based company. This is the ingredient is neem oil, orange oil, linseed oil, and jatadi oil. It is antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, okay, and antifungal. It can be used to treat mange, cavies, eczema, ringworm, and footworm infections. I can show you a very good result. So this is the before treatment. Animal is showing typical, facial eczema in case of sheep, the black muzzle. Now, if you go for application of this, after application of this Opcow liquid, miraculous result. You can see after treatment, new hairs are coming and the muzzle is completely healed. So you can go for using such type of topical application for the control of facial eczema, particularly in case of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So, what are the points to be remembered for the control of the mites? As I've already discussed, the life cycle, it will hardly take 10 to 14 days for the completion of the life cycle. And there are permanent ectoparasites. So, systemic acaricide, very, very effective for the control of the mites. Topical use has very, very limited applications. Whenever you are going for treatment, repeated treatment requires. Apart from that, you should go for supplementive therapy, like antibacterial. And whenever you are going for treatment, periodically you should go for skin scraping examination for further confirmation for complete treatment. And whenever you are going for any acaricide treatment for mites, there should be for soraptic means the treatment is necessary at 7 days interval. Whereas in case of sarcoidosis means the treatment should be repeated after 14 days. This should be kept in mind. Since the life cycle is different, because in case of soraptic means the life cycle is completed in 7 to 10 days. So that the second treatment should be after 7 days. But in case of sarcoidosis means it is very, very important. Life cycle is completed in 14 days. So that the second dose of treatment should be every 2 weeks interval. That has to take into consideration while going for treatment of already I have covered how to control the different ectoparasites like ticks, fleas, lice, mites. So what are the challenges and opportunities that come? As you know, that the ectoparasite ranks high in terms of their impact on the livelihoods. And the development of a new acaricide, a long and expensive process. Why? Because the multinational companies are not interested in funding the insecticide research, since the targeted arthropods are developing resistance faster than the economic return of the input. So in this situation, the global livestock production may not be in a position to have a new generation of insecticide to control. So whatever acaricide we have, we should use. So that is a major challenge. Whenever you are using an insecticide or acaricide, we should use judiciously. We should change the drug periodically, and we should use in combination with other control methods like managemental control method or cultural control method or biological control. Then new generation of the pesticide that should be explored. New generation acaricide targeting the metabolic pathways or the biomolecule synthesis pathways should be generated. And these acaricides should be kept in reserve for any emergency situation expected to arrive by multi-acaricide ectoparasites in future. So, new generation pesticide targeting the metabolic pathways, the biomolecules, should take into consideration. And public acceptance for the integrated pest management or the integrated tick management also should be enhanced. Element of the broad spectrum vaccines that also be tried. Why? Because it is a common phenomenon when using any chemical acaricide due to a single point mutation in the target molecule, most of the pesticide become uninfected. But whenever you are using any, ethnoveterinary practice or any vaccine, that take into consideration different, different targets, then the development of resistance is not that much effective. So, development of a broad spectrum vaccine should be taken into consideration. Cocktail vaccine agnostic and tick-borne pathogen that also take into consideration. We have already seen that multiple tick species infestation animals is impedance to the use of tick vaccine with a narrow spectrum having antigens of a single tick species. Therefore, there remains a need to identify the broad range vaccine candidates against the tick infestation or the parasites. Already, people have got a very good result using the subulocin as a target that is showing effective against all the different tick genera. And the activity of the subulocin protected antigen was demonstrated to extend to other tick species also. So that's why whenever you are targeting any tick population, because in animals there are not only single species that are affecting the sheep population, it is a multi-species tick that are affecting the tick, sheep and goat population. So whenever we are going for formulating any vaccine, that should be either a broad spectrum vaccine, taking into consideration of that antigen that is effective against all the different tick species, or a cocktail vaccines that is effective against both the tick and the tick-borne pathogens. And the last one, the mutual or the concurrent efforts need to be directed to identify the genes of the ectoparasite resistance in promising indigenous breeds, which can later be incorporated in strategic breeding program to develop animals with high genetic resistance to these ectoparasites. These are the points that has to be taken into consideration.
Respected participants, as Maharana sir has said, actually I did this clinical trial on Apco liquid.
Yes.
When I was doing Certified Livestock Advisor course from Manage, this was my clinical trial topic, which was assigned to me by CSWRA Principal Scientist Dr. Ganesh G. Sonawane. So here the person who is applying Apco liquid, it is me. So this Apco liquid is very much useful for effective control of this facial mange. In Telangana and AP, we call it as Mora Gajji. This problem is there in every sheep flock in South India. You can see the pictures, pictures of sheep before treatment and pictures of the same after treatment also. The product is available with the name of Apco. If anyone is interested, they can contact them on www.apco.com, or they can contact them on their mobile number 9820-828-403. Not only this Apco, they are the manufacturers of ear tags, and even oven castrate is available with them. They are supplying syringes also and neck bands for sheep and goat also.